맞아. 뭐 그리고 또 우리가 실제로 미국에서 이루어지고 있는 스포츠 시장에 대해서도 배운다고 하는데 미국이 스포츠 시장 하면은 또 세계에서 최대 규모를 자랑하는 국가이기도 하니까 또 그런 내용들 잘 배워가면 좋을 것 같아.
그 중에서 가장 인상적으로 이제 저희가 기억에 남았던 게 이제 먼저 풋볼 스타디움 가서 이제 실제로 선수들이 훈련에 임하는 모습을 지켜보게 됐는데 아이비리그 내에 있는 학교들끼리 이제 경쟁한다는 사실을 알고 이제 관찰을 해보니까 선수들이 실제로 굉장히 진지한 모습으로 이제 훈련에 임하는 것을 알 수 있었고 이제 함께 이제 경기 훈련을 이제 지켜보시는 학부모님들의 표정에서도 확실히 이렇게 긴장감이 묻어나오는 것을 알 수 있었는데 그렇게 진지하게 임하는 선수들이나 이제 그런 관련된 부모님들의 태도가 정말 인상적이었던 것 같습니다.
So anyways, as I said, Ralph is a total legend here. The statue was newspaper people, the internet bloggers and reporters, Sports Illustrated, New York Times, if they're going to do an article on the game.
So, how do you think about the basic sports industry in the US?
The sports industry in the U.S.? Well, it's very popular. Football is probably the most important sport. In the United States, it's the most popular sport. Recently, though, we're at a time where most of the sports have concluded. Hockey and basketball recently concluded, so now we're at a time for sports where baseball is the dominant sport. But as we move into July and late July, when NFL training camp starts, we'll start to see improvement with football and more activity around football because, again, it is the most watched television sport in the United States.
저는 또 가장 인상 깊었던 거는 라커룸 투어한 게 가장 인상 깊었는데 일단 흔히 말하는 홈 텃세를 라커룸에서도 느낄 수 있었어요. 어웨이 그 라커룸은 들어가는 동선도 굉장히 길고 그리고 안에 있는 시설도 조금은 안 좋게 만들어 놓고 음료수도 몇 개 없고 근데 홈 라커룸은 완전히 분위기도 다르고 노래도 나오고 뭐 프로틴 있고 뭐 로고 있고 팀 사기를 완전히 끌어올릴 수 있는 그런 라커룸을 만들어 놔서 선수들이 경기 들어가기 전부터 홈팀 입장에서는 무조건 이길 수밖에 없는 그런 분위기를 만들어 놨다는 게 굉장히 좋았던 것 같고 가장 오늘 투어하는 데 있어서 좋았던 거는 가이드분 두 분 모두 재치가 있었고 두 분 모두 좀 동선이 길었지만 투어하는 내내 하나도 지루하지 않았고 그분들 덕분에 굉장히 즐겁게 경기장을 관람하지 않았나라는 생각이 들었습니다.
I don't want you to break down your answers and then read it, memorize it, and then when I ask it later, you read from memory what you wrote.
Can you tell me about your insight or forecast about broadcasting industry on United States regarding sports?
Yeah, well, we're moving away from traditional media. New media, internet-based media is becoming much more popular. I mean, it's been popular for a long time, but it's being used more extensively in sports now. And sport industry is trying new ways to innovate in the usage of internet. So we're moving away from traditional media in newspapers, magazines, radio, and television. It's going to be a long time before internet takes over television as a king of entertainment and sports, but I foresee a future where the internet takes over.
Considering Ted Williams, but he never swung at a pitch out of the strike zone. Williams at the dish, and umpire would usually respond, if Mr. Williams didn't swing at it, it wasn't a strike.
important metric in social media, a very important metric in digital media. Do we know what that is? It wasn't here. Right? That might be business analytics. Player analytics might be.
Why analytics in sports is important?
Well, analytics in sports is important because I think we have to try to understand what's going on. And the best way to try to understand that is by collecting data and then analyzing it. You know, a lot of things that we assume about sports, I think, are probably, just things we've always believed because they've always been there. That's the way we've been told. And sport analytics allows us to really examine those assumptions and examine what's really going on and understanding the games and the business in a deeper way. And then at the end of the day, it also just helps us make smarter decisions. Effective businesses have to make smart decisions in order to use their resources correctly. We have limited resources, limited time, limited number of employees, and analytics allows us to use all of those in, hopefully it allows us to use those in a smarter way.
And then eventually once we get all the dirt in, they will address the entire team. So like another receiver now goes right down the middle. You gotta kind of like the drive office for sports media. So it was used in a lot of different ways. And also part of it.
So it's like a huge stadium, and maybe the university could, I can't even imagine, a lot of money to build this stadium. Then you get the revenue from the stadium. How you guys get the revenue from the stadium?
Most of the revenue comes from ticket sales. So it's a matter of our athletics department working with us here at the Carrier Dome, working with our marketing and our ticketing department to sell tickets for all sporting events that we have here, as well as other events that we have here that aren't necessarily sporting events. Obviously, that brings revenue from concerts and Monster Jam and things like that. So we also have smaller events they do make money, but they're not necessarily intended for that. They're more so a community event, like when we host high school events here.
네, 오늘은 라이언 교수님께서 이제 강의를 해주셨어요. 그리고 이제 소셜 미디어랑 이제 스포츠 애널리스틱스에 대해서 배웠어요. 소셜 미디어 같은 경우는 저희가 평소에도 친숙하게 사용하고 있는 이제 요소이기 때문에 흥미롭게 이제 배울 수 있었고요. 스포츠 애널리스틱스 같은 경우에 이제 라이언 교수님께서 특히나 이제 한국에 있는 팀이나 저희에게 좀 더 익숙한 유럽 축구 같은 것을 이제 예시로 들어주시면서 강의를 해주셨고, 저희 서브 인터랙션이 있는 강의를 해주셔서 좀 더 이렇게 재미있고 활발하게 강의에 참여할 수 있었던 것 같아요.
What you said as your strategy, we would call an objective. So that's a specific kind of it's a way that you're going to reach that goal. So it's a more specific goal, and you might have 3 or 4 objectives towards a specific goal. So like you said, increase revenue, but here's specifically how we're going to do it, or specifically what we want to accomplish, and then the how you're going to do it is what we consider the strategy.
Sports industry have different from other industry, right? So how much difference in smart analytics and speech?
Sure. So you're right that the sport industry is a niche within the greater business environment, just like international industry would be, or the financial industry. And so what we really like to focus on is what is unique about that. And so one of the biggest differences is the uniqueness of fans and the loyalty that people have both to teams, leagues, brands even, that you don't necessarily see in other contexts. And so I think we see that a lot in, like you said, the SWOT analysis and in the strategy that companies use in order to build that brand awareness, build that brand loyalty, and create that affiliation that we see with sport that kind of permeates through all of business as opposed to just a product that someone might buy.
Around here, but this is our we've gone through a lot of renovations over the past 3 years with the new ownership group, so we quote unquote rebranded as Bumble Ponies. We used to be the Binghamton Mets, so that's what this serves as. So we have 3 levels. You can see the individual seats down front. If you have 8 or more people, you want a picnic table. We have picnic tables in the middle. And then if you have about 4 people coming out, we have swivel chairs up top. Our concession company kind of has to strategically look at where to put these things that are going to make the most revenue for the team.
How you guys like promote fans to come here? Because like you are in a double league.
So yeah, I mean, obviously working in the sports industry, something that we always have to stress is it's not about sports, it's about entertainment. So you know, we're fighting with movie theaters, local zoos, just anything that's an event entertainment for fans. We're always kind of competing with them, even though we compete against other sports teams in our local area. To get those people with disposable income to come out to our games. So a big thing for us is promoting what the atmosphere is, just family fun and entertainment that's cheap, it's affordable, coming up with 70 different promotions that kind of appeal to different demographics and different target markets.
네, 그리고 오늘은 이후에 빙햄튼 럼블포니스라는 마이너리그 AA 팀의 경기를 관전하게 됐어요. 그래서 이제 관전해보니까 실제로 작은 구단이지만 지역의 이제 팬들을 위해서 다양한 엔터테인먼트 요소를 준비해놨어요. 어린이들과 미끄럼 투유도 있고 많은 참여 행사가 이루어지고 있고 또 이제 작은 구단이지만 스폰서를 굉장히 많이 주고 있었어요. 그 지역에 있는 와인 회사라던가 아니면 이제 그런 보드에 있는 여러 가지 스폰서를 두고 있는 걸 보면서 이제 선수들의 개인 영향이 된다면 언제든지 이제 더 좋은 상부 리그로 나갈 수 있는 이제 발판이 마련돼 있었다는 것이 인상적이었던 것 같아요.
Please suggest the best way that the disabled groups can be activated more and more.
Yeah, so the best way to get more disability sports is really just to start making people aware of them. So if you're running community sports, maybe you have a day where you play disabled sports and you teach everybody how to play sit volleyball, or if you have access to chairs, which are expensive, so not everybody does, play wheelchair basketball, but things like sit volleyball or other ways of, as we talked about in class, modifying sports to make everybody able to play, just so that people are aware, is a really good way of growing the disability sport movement, because right now a lot of people don't know what the sports are.
See some photos, some stats of all players that were here in the past.
Last question is, so what that might lead, your answer might lead to answer to this question as well. So like, what would be the most important factor that we consider when selling tickets?
Again, we want people to come back time and time again, so it's got to be affordable. They've got to be entertained. They have to have a good time, and they have to feel like they got a value for what they spent. Our tickets are very affordable. The cheapest ticket is $9. Most expensive ticket is $15.
All over.
So it's a pretty affordable place to come. If you think about going to a movie, the movie is going to cost you $15 to $20 to go. You can bring 2 people here for that.
So for the first question, yeah. So can you emphasize your personal, most important thing about sports marketing?
Ultimately, I think it's going to come down to revenue from an organizational perspective. From an individual perspective, is have fun. I love my time in marketing, especially when it's interactive with the ultimate consumer, and sporting events lends itself to some very good interactivity aspects. Giving people have a lot of fun, having them engaged in your product or your team or your sport will go a long way in increasing revenue. The more fun you have, the more fun they have, the more people do things. Like I said, happy people buy stuff. You do that and you'll do very well.